This is an exciting topic for me because I think consensus is a super cool concept, and I want to make it as simple as I can for you all. So, we're going to be talking about mining versus staking. And the reason why I talk about consensus is it is the chief difference between mining, staking, and pretty much everything else in blockchain. The differences between, for example, Avalanche and Solana. They have a different consensus mechanism, or Ethereum and Solana, or Ethereum and Bitcoin, or all of them in Bitcoin. There's a lot of differences, and there's a lot of different ways to reach consensus. And if you don't know what consensus is, I got you. And also, you, after that, will understand the difference between mining and staking. That is my goal. For those who do not know, before I get into it, I am Jake Tullis. I go by JT, and I run a digital asset hedge fund out of Cincinnati, Ohio, called Bleeding Edge Capital. We are discretionarily long, and I fixate on the underlying technology that these tokens sit upon. And I leverage my 10 years of software development experience to identify the most valuable or most likely protocols to be adopted. And that's why you're here, hopefully, to learn about fundamentals and understand what you could or could not be investing in. None of this is financial advice. So sit back, relax, and learn about something super nerdy and technical that hopefully I can make a little bit more digestible for you. All right, let's get into it. So, when you have a company, okay, not a protocol, a company, Amazon as an example, they own everything that allows their network to run. So they have computing, storage, whatever. And then they have that for North America, they have it for South America, they have it for China, they have, but all of this, okay, is under Amazon. It's all owned by Amazon, okay? And since Amazon owns all of it, if Amazon ever got hacked, all that's everything in Amazon is done. It's a single point of failure is what we call in software. The nice thing about it all being in Amazon is these computers don't need to coordinate much because they're all under the same exact enterprise with the same exact standards, same exact code base, same exact logic, rules, and everything else. You get it. In blockchain, you basically don't have a company, and instead you have John, Bill, Jill, Jane, Carrie. Doesn't matter. I'm running out of names. And we all, Jake, Josh, John, Amber, we all put our own computers on the network. Okay. So John put $1,000 of a hardware on, Jill put 3,000. You get it. We all have these computers. And instead of just having them sit there, we basically download software and then we tell the computer to support Bitcoin or Ethereum or something else. That is mining. So in mining, all these computers, like in Bitcoin, instead of playing a video game, watching a movie, whatever, all of these things are basically just offering their computing power to Bitcoin, and then they get paid in Bitcoin. So imagine like a big treasury in the middle of BTC, and there's only like, I don't know, a million or so left. And then every time the network, which is all of these computers combined, do something, whatever it is, because I don't want to get into that. Whatever it is, they get rewarded in the token of Bitcoin. Okay. So, I do something cool, I approve a transaction, I solve a block, da 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 da. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why. There we go. Okay. I get a wee bit of Bitcoin, just a little bit. But that is true for literally every single computer that does this stuff, right? You get the idea. And that's like the velocity of money in blockchain for proof of this is called proof of work. This is mining, proof of work. It's all method of consensus. Okay. And the reason why you need consensus in that Amazon example, they can coordinate because they're all owned by the same administrator. All of these computers have different administrators, essentially. We're all responsible for our own devices. So, for us to work together, the whole network, for it to communicate, we all need to come to consensus somehow. Like, yes, that transaction was good. Bob's computer's like, oh, that looks legit. Jill's like, that looks legit. And, Jim says that looks legit. I'll make them blue. Okay. Something like this. And then the process I'm showing you is them all coming to agreement that the transaction was legitimate. Once more than half of the network says, yep, looks good, the ledger gets updated on every single device, and then a new block comes. That's what consensus is. All these computers just have to come into agreement that what they're seeing is true. In a company, like I said, super easy. Now, staking is this model, but you don't need crazy hardware to do it because staking is fundamentally different. Staking is like Ethereum, okay? Staking is a way to reach consensus without needing all of that hardware plugged in. So all of this revolves around computers just coordinating and coming to the same agreement or conclusion that what's happening is good. Staking would be like, you know, ETH, and then I have JT Wallet. Okay. I have Ether. And then Ethereum is just a network like Bitcoin. Okay. So we'll just say that there's this network here, and that is Ethereum. Okay. These are all just computers, just like Bitcoin. And, sorry, bot. All right. Now remember, I want to drill this into your guys' head. Ether is the token, Ethereum is the network. Okay? So basically, this network is supported by Ether. Let's say I have 100 Ether. You need 32 ETH to stake it. So I'm going to take 32 ETH. And I'm going to lock it up. So when I put it into the network, it goes in, gets put into another wallet. Now this wallet, let's call it stake. This wallet holds my ETH. What it does with this ETH is it finances the network. Okay, so I get rewarded, I don't know, 4 or 5% for giving my ETH to the network. And then when that happens, the network's going to pay me 4 or 5% roughly. Okay. Um, Almost like a bond. Okay. And then what the network does with my staked ETH is it uses it to secure the network and also just finance the behavior of the network, really. So when someone submits a transaction and they use gas and, all that stuff, this network then asks trusted stake to validate. So instead of every computer needing to check that it's legit, basically there's millions of these guys. Okay, there's like crazy amounts. And the protocol, think of it this way. This is actually pretty good. Okay. We'll select one of these out of, let's say, 100, and they'll ask 1,000. So let's say there's 1,000,000 staked wallets. It's going to ask 100,000 of them, is this legit? So it's random, and then basically the credibility of the wallet or the computer is determined by the amount staked. Because what happens is if you try to lie to the network, you are going to lose your tokens. You get slashed, is what it's called. But basically, this is a way to build a network. Like, hey, you just bought all this ether. You want to give some of it back so we can keep it going. And you also get to approve transactions and you get to do the things like in mining and make sure this network's good. For that service, we're going to pay you a return. And that's basically the difference between mining and staking. Mining is just expensive hardware being plugged into the wall, super energy dependent, and it's doing everything for the network. Where staking is letting all these other functions happen in different parts of the network. And really, consensus is met by people that have the most weight or the most money in the network. And it's the most trusted because you have the most to lose. And it really does help with transaction speed, but most importantly, this type of consensus makes a network more effective. I know that's a lot. Please reach out with questions. I'd love to help. Hopefully, this, you know, can help you understand when you start seeing proof of stake versus proof of work. Some of the key takeaways is going to be proof of stake is faster, cheaper, and really better for energy and computer coordination, um, which will allow for different stuff to be built on top of it. And that's really important for you guys to understand. But maybe we can save that for more intermediate content once we get to that level.